All right, how one man will cause the next financial crisis. This is going to be my response to the video by Patrick Kenny. Just came out 2 days ago. Thank you to Bruce for sending it over to me. Now, in this video, I want to go a lot deeper on this. Now, this video is going to be about really exploring the background about this man, known as Michael Saylor, and how exactly I believe the Ponzi that we know as what the mainstream knows as Bitcoin, which is what, basically the mainstream and the people who hijacked the real Bitcoin are known as BTC now, how it's actually going to fall and how the cards will play out. Now, so I'm going to set the stage for all this, and I'm going to link you guys this video and recommend you watch it at the end. So, all right. Shout out to this guy, Patrick Kenny, for putting out this video. And he really does a great job at going through the entire financial analysis of what's going on with what is known as, quote, strategy now. It used to be MicroStrategy. It does a full background on the initial hype built up around MicroStrategy back during the late 1990s. Now, I did a video podcast with Jack Pitts a number of months ago back now, and we talked about this because he was a stock picker back on Wall Street at that time. And he knew of Michael Saylor being on Wall Street. And because Saylor was a billionaire, MicroStrategy was a massive company, $6 billion, $7 billion at that time. But then it vanished to 99% of it went away overnight. He got basically, anyways, it just went away. And this video talks about it. Now, this video then goes into a much deeper strategy on what's really going on with how they're creating, how MicroStrategy is actually creating the demand for what they call Bitcoin. The mainstream knows as Bitcoin. So, and why it cannot go on forever. Now, what he doesn't talk about in the video is about the idea of a Ponzi scheme, because really what the people who hijacked Bitcoin want you to believe is that this Ponzi scheme called BTC is Bitcoin, and all you got to do is buy the MicroStrategy stock or an ETF as a boomer, and you're going to get rich, and the price is going to go up forever. It's never going to go down. You'll never lose money. Just like Michael Saylor says. He says, never sell your, quote, Bitcoin, what they're using the name Bitcoin to hype it up, right? Even though it's got just an altcoin. So they're using that, and they're pushing the narrative. So he says, never sell it, never sell it, never sell it. But the video he talks about at the very end, if you watch all the way through, he goes through the real big fear is when the Ponzi starts to unravel and Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy begins to have to sell BTC. And by selling BTC, the market starts to unravel. Now, there's more to this story that's not being talked about, and that is the Clarity Act, the Genesis Act, Congress, what's going on, and the Satoshi-era wallets and Satoshi himself awakening. Now, inside the Coinbase coin offering, the stock offering, they talk about a great threat, an imminent danger of Satoshi waking up and liquidating his position. Well, we know that's happening, right? I'm sorry, that's not that it's happening. It's already happened. We know that we've got 80,000 for sure BTC that have already been liquidated. Now, it didn't put a dent in the market because even at $10 billion, it didn't put a dent. Why? Well, Tether doubled down. And if you follow the trends, if you really look deep into this, you'll see that Tether printed another billion. It was at least $1 billion. I think it's more than that. But they printed a lot of more funny money right into the market, injected it to then create the price, the false illusion of this BTC price going up. Now, the Tether's got a 3-year timeline. It's actually less than that. Let's say it's about 24 months, I'd say, of funny money games they could play at the most. I mean, I'm being very generous there to 24 months. I don't think it's going to be that long. Because with the Genesis Act passing, Tether has to come forward and be honest. Otherwise, they're going to be put out of business. It'll be illegal. They will no longer be allowed to operate. So the funny money printing they just did with the $1 billion and plus to keep the market going, and they've been doing for the last 5 years. I mean, that's coming to an end. So the musical chairs is going around. It's going to keep going around a little bit longer the guy who's holding the bag, the Tether guy and Michael Saylor, they're going to keep holding that bag. But there is a point in time, and it's going to be within the next 24 months, all right? And that's being generous, where the music will stop. The Genius Act calls Tether out. They're done. They're done. They can no longer just phony money the books. They don't have the liquidity. They don't have, I mean, this is coming out in court cases. I'm not talking about me. The Attorney General of New York had a court case. They settled with Tether for a massive amount of money for, not having the assets which they claimed. In addition, the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act is going to come out in Congress. It hasn't passed yet, so it's still speculative. But, one of the things I talk about, believe in, preach, and practice is actual facts. And if there's speculation involved, then it's going to be on reliable law or reliable evidence of some kind. Because a lot of people on the internet right now, friends of mine, respectfully, have yet to show me any credible evidence. When I mean evidence, I mean executive orders. I mean bills in Congress. I mean actual potential law, debates in Congress, or even international law of some kind, of real potential international law of things like the NESARA. Now, or these reset. I haven't seen anything. I did read the whole case about NESARA. I read everything. I read the entire case. All that stuff I read was a case that started from the 1980s, an old farmer back in the Midwest, and he came forward, started the case. It was a real case, the NESARA case. It was. It started as a real case. Then apparently, that's just where things get crazy. It just didn't go forward. And Bill Clinton started getting involved, and maybe he was, this is where speculation started coming in. The records are sealed. But ever since then, there's been no proof of anything. So a lot of people are saying, buy these foreign currencies in the Iraqi dinars or these Vietnam currencies. And I'm not, dude, I can't find any evidence about it, all right? I can't find anything that's credible other than people like Judy Byington who have no credibility. No, I'm talking about, dude, forget Judy Byington. That's not credible. Maybe she's a good person. I don't know. But I'm saying, when it comes to this stuff that I'm talking about the Clarity Act, all right? I'm talking about the freaking, the Genius Act, executive orders, things that are happening, all right? Actual evidence that we can point our finger to about what we can see happening. These Satoshi-era coins moving. If there was evidence of a reset, a global currency reset, and everybody's going to go on to this other currency and the dinars are going to shoot through the moon, I'd be the first one on it to buy it. I'd be stacking it, and I'd be telling everyone about it. If I could find one lick of evidence. And I'm not in any way bad-mouthing it, okay? I just can't find, I'm open-minded. I always remain open-minded, dude. I'm open freaking minded because I don't know what I don't know. Maybe tomorrow somebody's going to send me a court case that proves the whole thing. Maybe. I'm open-minded to it. But until that point, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole and keep, I'm just not going to recommend anybody spend any time with that. Because we know for a fact that the Clarity Act has passed. It is going to, well, at least we have a likelihood that it's going to pass. And when it passes, the blockchains, these mature blockchain standards like BTC and Ethereum are not going to qualify. That's my prediction. They're not going to qualify as mature blockchains. So now that puts us in this 24-month timeline with Tether and the Genius Act, all right? And then the Clarity Act coming forward in this 24-month timeline with the mature blockchains where things are all of a sudden getting legit. Satoshi-era coins are all moving, all right? And guess what else is happening in the background? You got Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy now, and the musical chairs are turning, and he's pumping it up. The Ponzi's going. He's pumping it as fast as he can. Buy more, hold the BTC Ponzi, right? All that stuff's happening. And then the Satoshi-era coins are all starting to move. They're selling. Now I'm going to throw another wild card in here. This is going to sound absolutely beyond insane. And so let me brace yourself for it. But I'm going to make a motion right now that the original Bitcoin, Satoshi's Bitcoin, the Bitcoin protocol, it has the scam ticker known as BSV, okay? That's just a ticker. I think that entire trading ticker and symbol should be removed off all exchanges. I hope you braced yourself for that, because that's freaking insane. I think we should motion and get that off, whether it's a court case, whether it's a social pressure. But I want to start it. Within 24 months, that ticker should be off all exchanges. Get it out of there. Why does it need to be on an exchange? The only thing that it needs is onboarding from fiat to Bitcoin, or fiat to the stable coins. That's it. There's no need to have it on exchanges. I mean, so that it can be manipulated, suppressed, played with, ruined. There's an exchange that's trading $150 million coins of it a day, 150 million coins a day on there or something. And it's like, or volume. It's just, they were doing 150 million in volume a day on Bitcoin SV. Obviously, these are just wash trading scams. So all those things need to be wiped out. Only Orange Gateway, Rock Wallet, these true liquidity places that aren't really exchanges. They're just like your onboarding. You're onboarding where you're onboarding from fiat into there, okay? And you actually are owning your own keys. That's it. You don't have there's no need to have it on third-party exchanges where you're just surrendering it anyways. Now, the reason I'm making that motion is this. When the music stops, right? Like when the music's over, like the Doors would say, Jim Morrison, when the music is over with MicroStrategy and BTC and the Ponzi, this whole thing with Tether, I'm calling it a 24-month timeline. That's generous. I think that's generous. I'm playing it safe. I don't want to be caught holding the bag tomorrow. I'm not that type of guy. I don't like being in a high risk situation and then caught with my pants down holding the bag. So I'm just saying that's extremely generous, 24 months. I think it's a lot shorter than that. But once the music stops, all right, that whole market's that's just not BTC. That's the whole crypto market's the bubble's gonna pop. Everything explodes. If Satoshi's Bitcoin, like the original Bitcoin protocol, is off all those bucket shop exchanges, it's not going to be affected by that in any way. It's just going to be used as the base layer. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but that might not be good for people in trading crypto and the price. And if you're just waiting around for the price to go up, honestly, you might be better off buying silver, or you might be better off buying, Metallicus. Honestly. I'm just being frank. If that's your only concern, because maybe, or even just gold. Because I mean, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It could go to $250 in the next 6 months. I really don't know. I'm just saying. I'm being more frank and letting people know that I don't expect the price to be going up over the next 2 years. I mean, really, realistically, it should just flatten out. For use. It should eventually stabilize. I know that people believe that it's going to go to all these crazy prices. I'm not saying it's not, but I just don't think it's a good idea to expect that. Expect the worst. And especially if these exchanges, to have it off of these exchanges, it's not going to go down. It won't be affected by the crash. So at least it will stabilize, and have a steady. When I was 19, 21, even like 10 years ago, I used to want to get rich quick. Maybe 15 years ago, I was like, let's get rich quick. And if you're in your 20s, you might be thinking that. Let's get rich quick. Let's get rich tomorrow. I want to be rich tomorrow. Now, if that's you, dude, hopefully you could take this a little bit of a mentorship video and learn from people like me who made it to being a millionaire by the time I was 27. Killed it. Black card, crushed it. Business, number one in the company. All right, got rich quick. It didn't take quick. It took worked my ass off for about 3-4 years, but still, that's pretty quick. But then, boom, too young, no discipline, just absolutely, completely unlimited spending and chaos, and you just freaking fell right off a cliff, just jumped right off a bridge with no parachute, boom. Right? That's how it goes. It's like, I was like, that's how it went. So that could be you, if that's your idea. But if you just think like, let's just focus on building something for the long term over the next 15 years, and I'm just talking really 2 years, but 15 years is my goal, my target. This is going to be an absolute paradigm shift in humanity. All right? Because with AI that's right now on target, as it all blends together, I'm telling you, this is like a perfect fit, perfect puzzle if you can have what's called insight, a little bit of insight. So check out the video about Michael Saylor. It's called How One Man Will Cause the Next Financial Crisis by Patrick Kenny. I'll put it at the end of this video right here. My name is Gavin Mehl. If you like this video, hit the ones. Leave a comment. Share the video, man. We got to get the word out there, and I will see you at the top. Space coming tomorrow.